Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about you should not be competing with your peers. Y'all should be competing against the world. You know what I'm saying? For some way or another or a reason, we got it misconstrued as if we should be in competition with our brothers, our sisters, our moms, our spouses, peers, just everything that's thrown into that mix, you know what I'm saying? But when you actually think about the competition, most of us know that the competition is within yourself. A huge percentage of it. We talking about percentages because a percentage of what's going on outside of us does affect us, so we cannot ignore the fact that environmental stuff affects us, right? So what made me come to this subject today about competing and just competition and stuff is it's just like it becomes extremely hard and difficult to build with the people around you once you understand what team they're on. So as you're trying to teach and give lessons or just share information, or it could be something else depending on your situation, however the mix may be. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be some weird competition on the opposite end of the spectrum. I don't care if it's male or female that you're dealing with. If their belief system is to follow the matrix flow or if it's just to be a law-abiding citizen. You know what I mean? So that's where the understanding has to come in that you should not be in competition with the people around you. Like in my world, my brothers, my sister, my mom, my peers, whoever I decide to deal with female-wise, it's like we should be building together. We have enough things going on outside of us that we already know is competitive, that we're competing for, that is competition. You know what I'm saying? So we should be spending more time trying to figure out how to build together. We already understand, okay, this was my homeboy at one point in time, but now all of a sudden he's competing with me. I get a pair of new shoes, he get a pair of new shoes. You know, I get a new shirt, he want a new shirt. I tell him I'm learning spiritual stuff, now all of a sudden he's diving in and talking about chakras and stuff. You know what I'm saying? More so of leading into a competition opposed from us working together. Now I just gave that as an example. That's not something that I've experienced on that level per se, but in my own experience levels of me not understanding that there's competition, and some would even call it envy, but I just want to stick with competition, was like small examples of real lifetime. It's like I didn't know my brother, my big bro, 2 years older than me, was in competition with me. And it didn't really hit me till after I came home from my situation or whatever, and I had more weight on. He started eating more and getting his weight on. He saw where I had my tattoos placed at. He went and got all his tattoos placed in the same place. You know what I'm saying? A couple years later, I said I won't get no more hair because I started growing my hair. He started growing his hair out. You know what I'm saying? He got the program to do the beats, but he didn't stick with it. I started doing the music and the beats, but then I started doing the photography and videography, and then he also goes and grabs the camera as well and then start doing the same thing. But in my world, it's like, why be in competition with me when we could be working together and building as a team? You know what I'm saying? It was no need for us to have to work harder because we're creating resistance by doing this, opposed from working with each other, you know what I'm saying, and building together. Now we're creating this resistance and this friction, so now it's like, okay, this is opposition, you know, either he's hindering me or I'm hindering him, you know what I'm saying, because we're not building together. It's going this way, opposite, separate, apart, divide and conquer, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's just like a small example, you know what I'm saying, just of like how the opposition chooses to use competition versus how we actually should be using competition. You know what I'm saying? We use the competition when like, say when you in robot mode and you was going out to the bars and clubs and stuff. Most of y'all that went out together, y'all stuck together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all wasn't... it's always a catch-22 with that, right? So, on the on the inside of the group, they are competing with each other. Because one thinks they probably can get more girls, one probably thinks that they can get more guys, you know, just one feeling like they more swaggier than the other. And that's when you're looking at it inside the group. But outside the group, when people see the group together, they are together. So now they're putting this group, oh shit, that group is more swaggier than my group, or that group is buying more drinks than my group. You know what I'm saying? So now it's an outside competition thing that's not the inner circle. So even though we shouldn't be competing in that manner either, we should all be still working together. We just have to understand, at least have your closest bubble working together. So that way, the ones outside of your bubble, they're either going to be more willing to work with y'all, or they're going to get the fuck away. But you have a bigger energy frequency with all of y'all working together. And that's why it's easier for them to keep us all separate and push for divide and conquer, because when you put more energy together, more like minds together, it's gonna create a bigger vibration, a stronger vibration. You know what I'm saying? It's like when large amounts of groups do like chants or seances or like any of these things that we do that's in sync with each other. You know what I'm saying? When you taught the Pledge of Allegiance, you put in energy in helping create the vibration that make that magic spell, you know, manifest and become more real. But you don't even understand that. All of us are in sync, going, and then as we get older, we understand, all right, I don't want nothing to do with this. And then you got something that's like, I love it. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part of us, over on this side, we already understand what the flag is a representation of. So we know it's more so about the people, not about these 3D objects and what they represent. You know what I'm saying? But we have to stop being in competition with the ones around us and understand that some of the motherfuckers around you are in competition with you. You know what I'm saying? And it's always a weird process to have to experience and to see, because it's like you don't really... We have confidence, but we don't really look at ourselves as if we're all that the shit in the bag of chips. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm nice in all the sports I play and do everything confident, it's still weird to me when a motherfucker is competing with me in the spiritual realm, and I used to not understand that they was competing with me. Now I understand that they're competing with me, and that was just from, you know, a male to male, close relative perspective. You know what I'm saying? You still have the opposite sex that will be competing with you as well too. You know what I'm saying? I done had partners beside me where they had to let they hang more than mine, but I naturally have these, so I'm gonna let mine hang lower than you. You know what I'm saying? Things might be, I done had things in certain places where, in situations where it's like, all right, well, I done bust my ass for about 1, 2, 3, 4, however many months it was. Now I'm getting rewarded, but this motherfucker over here, opposite sex, is in so competition with me that they cannot be excited for me. They cannot share the joy with me and everything else that comes with putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? They have to do something to either to dim it down, or to like try to remove it, or to focus it on them. So I just understood, and we have to understand that you still gonna be in competition with the opposite sex too. And that's gonna be weird when you realize that somebody who is of a, you know, different gender than you is still competing with you. You know, y'all in the same house, or y'all always get together and hang out and mingle, you know, at the same places and locations, but it's like you're in competition with me. It's like, hey, you supposed to be operating this way over here, I'm supposed to be operating this. We're not even supposed to be in the same competition field. Like I'm supposed to be competing with the other males out here if it's a certain task or something at hand that is supposed to be competitive. But right now we're in a building state, but there's still a lot of motherfuckers out here that's competing. But I ain't want to run it up too long, you know what I'm saying? Tapping everything down below. Below is the descriptions. Y'all already know what time it is, you know what I'm saying? Peace and love to the kings and queens.